cardboard placed between these two charges, what will be the new force between these two? Sorry, what will be the new force? Now, this was a 1 mark question. We have not given what is the dielectric constant of that card, but always remember, since there is some medium between two charges, the force 101% will decrease. Whatever the medium, the force will decrease if there is a medium. So always remember, uh, whenever there is some medium between these two, they will be changed. For example, two charges 6q again minus 7q, the force between them in air is 80 Newton. You take these two charges inside the water. Now if you are taking inside the water, now I want to calculate in case that the force in water will be, hanji bache, so give you answer, it will be force in air divided by dielectric constant. So force in water will be equal to 80 divided by 80, and if you solve it will be 1 Newton. It will be 1 Newton. The force between the two charges. So clear? What is clear? That whenever I want to solve the numerical, I will use F equal to 1 by sorry. Now next question is, all of you know that force is not a scalar quantity. Force is a vector quantity. This is a very important concept. Now we are going to discuss to solve the numerical. Force is a vector quantity. So I want to write this formula in terms of vector. No problem. I will write 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. First charge, second charge, distance between first and second ka square with the unit vector. What is this? You know that cap. Cap means unit vector. And how you define unit vector? It is defined as a vector divided by its magnitude. Unit vector is a vector divided by its magnitude. Force between two charges. It means this formula may be written as F12 is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. First charge, second charge may be written as 1 cube 1 2. ये क्या change किया मैंने? Here it was unit cap. Now it becomes vector. So when you can see in this formula, if you change, in that case, if you change, it will be divided by its magnitude. So I put this value here, I get this one in terms of cube. Now R12, sorry, it will be 3. R13. Similarly, the force between F21 is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. Charges remain same, only unit, thus vector will change. And always remember that force in 1 2 is same that of force on F21. Only the difference negative. That is, it obey Newton's third law. Coulomb's law obey Newton's third law. What is this? That if this charge attract this charge with the force of 6 Newton, then this charge will also attract this charge 6 Newton, but direction is opposite. This concept I will use in solving the numerical. Sometimes CBSE asks the question that if there is a force between two charges 6 Newton, then what will be force between these if you change this one? So you will say that since it will be Newton's third law, so if it attract with 6 Newton, this will also attract with the force of 6 Newton. Yeah. So once again, it is a revision that what is the force between, this is my 4th page, what is the force, the formula. So if somebody says what is the force formula, so force formula is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, first charge, second charge by distance ka square. So always, sorry, remember the force is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught first charge, second charge, distance ka square. So this formula I will use in solving the numericals. Let us go further. There was a principle that is called principle of superposition. In case of wave and oscillation chapter, I discussed with you principle of superposition. What was that? That the resultant displacement in the given medium due to the number of waves is equal to the vector sum of the individual displacement. In the similar way, principle of superposition, the resultant force on given charge. Let us suppose there is a charge Q1. Another charge is in the system Q2, Q3, Q4. I want to find, listen carefully, bache, most important concept. I want to find the force on this charge due to this charge, and this charge. अब ये नहीं करना तीनों को ऐड करो रिजल्टेंट चार निकाल के इसमें there's a force find कर लो. No. This principle states if you want to find the force on this charge due to this, then you will find individually. That is force on 1 due to 2 plus force on 1 due to 3, then force on 1 due to 4, and then you will add with the help of vector addition. Brilliant class. You know that in case of vector we have triangle law of addition or parallelogram law of vector addition. We can use any law, whether triangle or vector. Let us understand this concept with the help of some of the examples. I have this charge plus 6 Newton, 7 Newton, and there is another charge minus 6 Newton. A, B, C. The distance between these two charges, I suppose it is 2 centimeter, and the distance between these two charges, I suppose it is 4 centimeter. So this charge is at the middle of these two. I want to find the force on A due to B. I want to find force on A due to C. Listen carefully. Force on A due to B. Force on A due to C. जिस पे फोर्स फाइंड करनी है उसको छोड़ दो मतलब फोर्स फार्मूला फर्स्ट राइट द फार्मूला यू नो दैट 9 into 10 to 9 first charge 6 second charge 7 take only this is sorry but not Newton